I know I am late to this drill, but as they say about mother's life, you want everything, but you get nothing, not even a few minutes to drink coffee. But nevertheless, in this video, I am going to share with you my top favorite 5 books out of the 22 books which I read last year in 2023. The first one is Revolutionaries by Sanjeev Sanyal ji. This book spills facts like no other. This mainly focuses on that mysterious network of Indian freedom fighters to fight against the British, and this network spread all across Asia, Europe and the United States, and it is nothing short of a movie scene. It is fascinating historical accounts which are given in this book that amazes me, and the most shameful thing which I felt about myself is that till now, I didn't know anything about these freedom fighters, not even the names of some of them. Sanjeev ji has truly painstakingly taken such deep efforts in both research as well as writing, and in my opinion, that is what gives this book its strength and also its depth, and it's amazing. The second book is The Goa Inquisition by A K PRIOLKAR. Now, this book shed light on the accounts of the Goa state or the Goan state about which I knew nothing. Nothing was written or taught in my school days, and nothing was taught after that. So to know about the Goa Inquisition, how the Portuguese people and their Christian missionaries came to India, conquered the Goan state, undertook this violent mission of unjustly converting or forcefully converting the Hindus and the minorities in that state. And knowing about these accounts and how I was living under a rock until now just gave me goosebumps, because these accounts, interestingly, were burnt by the actual Inquisition which ruled the Goan state for spanning for about 4 centuries, and the book is published on the records of the prisoners who were kept or who were imprisoned by the Inquisition themselves. So it was quite interesting and an eye-opening experience to read the accounts of someone who had experienced these traumas or injustices in their lives from a first account or first person perspective. And this book was recommended by J.S.I. Deepak. So obviously it was an amazing read, and everyone should read it in order to know why the Goan state is a Christian majority even today. The third one is AVARAN by S L BHYRAPPA. This book was recommended by Vikram Sampath, and this is a historical fiction. So I really did a heavy lifting last year in the section of history, but this is a fiction, and it is a tale about 2 leads in different timelines, but the storyline runs parallel to one another, and it awakens that hidden feelings inside us about taking pride in our own religion, passing it to our next generation without any shame, displaying it in public without any shame. And if you give up that religious identity of yours altogether or for some other religion, you become a lost soul in a long run. This is a gut-wrenching tale about the 2 leads which I spoke about earlier, and how they lose themselves by giving up their religious identity and that sense of pride, and then coming back the whole circle and getting out of it with stronger emotions and stronger pride in one's religion, and how that tale changed the 2 persons in different timelines in the same way if you think about it. It's a tale and a story like no other, and you should give it a read. And S L BHYRAPPA ji has taken it out of the park with his writing, his character arc developments, the vulnerable side that he displays of the characters, and without any shame, and the realization which dawns upon them is another feeling altogether when you are actually reading the book, and you must read it at least once in your life. Fourth is Guards by Terry Pratchett, and I'm proud to say that this is my greatest discovery of 2023. The Discworld series, which was my first read, that is Guards and Terry Pratchett himself. Because in this book, the jokes land at the right places, the satire is so perfect that I would give my money to it. And that fascinating magical world building that Terry Pratchett literally takes you into another world. The characters of Carrot and Captain Vines are written so well that you literally jump on a bus and take a ride along with them as they fight the crimes at night with morals and sometimes not. And the most important thing is, what is a story if it doesn't teach you a thing or two? Because this story does, and it's literally a slow slap about what it is going to preach you at the end. So it's this book which started my whole journey into this magical world that is Discworld. The fifth and last of my favorite reads of 2023 is Friends, Lovers and That Big Terrible Thing by Mathew Perry. It is a gut-wrenching, vulnerable, true account of Mathew Perry, and what made this reading experience more sadder for me is that I discovered about this book after Matthew's passing away, and the whole reading experience after that was much, on a sadder part. In this book, Mathew Perry bears it all and gives to the reader his vulnerable side, the loneliness that he felt all along his life, and that deep feeling of sinking deep into the depressive state without anyone being there to hold your hand assuringly and taking you out of that hole that you are continuously and slowly sinking in. While feeling this much pain mentally, how can one person put a smile on every single person's face that he has met? It simply amazes me. Mathew Perry was simply a gem that the world has lost.